2 o'clock, you know what time it is. It's mental health and music time. Sitting in front of me, I have Barbecue King, Beat Boss Creator, Dub Shack Raver, Badman DJ, Tiatsim.
Yes, Els, what's going on?
What's going on? How's you?
I'm good, man. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm alright. Thank you very much. How's life? How's things?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, just waving through it like everyone else, I suppose. Post-COVID, we're all out and about again. So, yeah, football's back on, so it's all good.
Your football tweets are a lot.
Yeah, I love football. I love football.
Particularly Chelsea.
Yeah, all the time. But we're in a bit of a pickle at the minute. So.
I did see one tweet saying, why am I paying money to watch these men run around and they get paid bare money and they're not even doing what they're meant to be doing?
Yeah. It's annoying when you're a football man and then a manager comes in and none of his tactics or team selections or substitutes make sense. And you're just there like thinking, why am I don't know, man. It's because I'm a Chelsea fan, isn't it, Matteo? You know, without Matteo in the building, Arsenal fan, and we're the pride of London. So I know they're top of the table now, but if you talk about the last 15, 20 years, trophies and
shape. Yeah,
that's it. I big up the Arsenal crew. You lot are doing bits right now. Yeah? Who do you support?
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Should we not go there?
Getting shot right now.
It's awful.
Yeah, man. Same way as hey, who wants
and I live with an Arsenal supporter, so he rubs it in my face all the time.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
There
it's
you
not
go.
Pleasant.
No.
There's wars going on in my yard at the moment.
Love that.
How did a young Tiatsim get into music?
Oh wow. Do you know what? It was just obviously like going raving with my friends and stuff. And like certain times you go West End and you wouldn't even know where the DJ was, because I was going out quite early when maybe I shouldn't have. Big up all the FHM magazine readers and buyers that used to buy the £25 fake ID in the back.
Wow.
Yeah, cut it out, send it off.
What
you
year was that?
Laminated. That was like 96, 97.
Damn.
Things like that. So yeah, more like probably 98 to be honest.
That's what, 24, 25 years ago?
Yeah, but there's a friend of mine, DJ Curls, who when I went college, straight after high school, when I went college, he had a set of decks at home. Was at college one day and someone was like at lunchtime, yeah, let's go back to Curls's for a set. We actually went to a guy called DJ Jedi and we went to his house and he just got a pair of decks. So he let everyone else use them to watch them, to learn. So that's how I got in. And then from there, it was just easier than Heartless, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anywhere they were at, I'm trying to go. And where everyone's raving, I'm the annoying idiot at the side, looking over, trying to see what vinyls they've got. What's that tune? How's he doing? I saw EZ do some madnesses. So he was my inspiration into sort of, I think, like the technical side of DJing. And with garage, the technical side was good, but obviously when grime came around, you could do more with it. And then when the latest like Pioneer mixers come out, yeah, the effects and stuff, like I delved into that. But yeah, that's how I got into music.
I see you raving at the Heartless show the other day.
Right,
sadly, I didn't get to go, but it looks like a vibe.
This camera, I'm so disappointed I didn't see so many people who said they love Heartless. I thought I'd go there and it would be like link up.
Yep.
And it weren't. I saw one person.
Wow.
So yeah.
What was the crowd like? Were they an older crowd?
Do you know, it was a good mix. It was, I would say, more over 30s.
Yeah.
But it was a good crowd. There was a lot of young bucks there as well. But it was just a celebration. Obviously, it was their 30-year anniversary, and it was just a big celebration. Like they brought out, like BBK was there, General Levy was there. Who else was? Kano came through and spat, like done about 3 tunes.
Spooky there.
I didn't see Spooky there.
No.
I didn't see Spooky
Someone
there.
was DJing.
It's probably a bit too early for he's probably still in bed these times because it was from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was like a daytime rave. But yeah, it was wicked. Maxwell D as well came through and done Serious, Place Went Mad. Like it was like being back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they had all the reggae and Bashment Fonty done like 3 hours. So yeah, it was wicked.
Yeah. What does music mean to you?
Freedom of expression, mainly. This sounds mad, yeah, and it almost sounds disrespectful, but for me, it's a great time passer. So being a vinyl collector and having parents that collected vinyls, there's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
And you might only go through them or certain sets of them every 8-9 years, and then you'll pull out some gems because musically your taste has changed. But yeah, freedom of expression and a wicked way of wasting time for me, if that makes sense.
Do you say wasting time as in passing the time, like getting you through?
Yeah. I'm an Aquarius, I'm a deep thinker.
Yeah.
So I'll need things sometimes to pass time, or else I'll just be watching films all day. And that's a more like, if I want to make music, I'm creating something whilst passing time. Yeah. And I've got something at the end of it to show for it. Yeah. And it's people that make music. I am not a producer in that sense. I make music, like I said, sometimes to pass time or just when I'm interested. Yeah. But it's brilliant because you can do 6 hours and it felt like 2, and you're like, wow, right, okay. So yeah.
I like that. Time passer. We'll call it time passer. We'll call it time passer. If you could pick 3 tunes that represent you, what would they be?
Oh my God, I wish you told me this like before I come.
Do you know what? I was actually going to ask you about 1 tune, so you're lucky you got 3, because originally the question was 1, and I thought, I can't do that to him.
I'm going to have to go through like things from when I was a child. Oh God. What can I choose from when I was young? Do you know the maddest thing is I'm really bad at remembering song names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely awful. For a DJ, awful.
Wow.
See Spooky, play a tune, you say Spooks. What's that? It'll tell you who made it, when it was made, on what label it came out, how many hours they were in the studio that day. Do you know? So I'm really bad with song titles.
I see that on Instagram while you're thinking. You play a lot of music of like old school vinyls, like 7 inches. Yeah. You've got a load of them in your collection. The
old 45s. This is what I'm trying to think of now. A tune that I grew up listening to, like my mum or dad just playing on the like every Sunday. Yeah. Dad would be. My dad will see this interview and go, he's chatting shit. But you know, when you're a kid, you think, but it's probably once every, like a Sunday every month, he would just like run some tunes. I probably can't like put it down to 1, but I would say it would be something like Marvin Gaye or Motownish. That would have been something like that. And then I would then say, do you know what? Either DJ Wire, Believe Me, or Pulse X, which kind of, we all loved garage, and there are standout tunes, but when it switched for me was when them tunes come out. And then on from that, I'm gonna say Beanie Man Row Me. Like that tune. Love just that tune. It's just one of those tunes that it again inspired me, because when you go through, as a DJ, you might go through certain things. Like I know some DJs just like to do one genre and that's it. I just kind of have been on a bit of a journey because of certain experiences of places I've been. I went to Ibiza, got inspired by house, come back, changed from garage and grime. I was a house DJ overnight. So it's little things like inspirations, people I hung out with, heard you, and then got into that sound.
Is there anything that you don't play?
I wouldn't say there's not. Drill. I'm not a big drill fan.
Okay.
I think it's progressing.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a lot of, like, the lyrics are too simplified for me. And I get that some people like the simplified thing, I know, but for me, I like, you know, like your Gets, your Kanos, your Jams, your Blaze, your Manka, like substance and something that I can jump into and sit back and be like, wow, story just got told. So yeah, some of the instrumentals I really do like, but I just don't play it. I don't. That's about off the top of my head. I know there's things called footwork and stuff like I haven't even delved into, but or like acid and
house,
stuff like that. Never.
Hardcore.
I just can't. Yeah, not for me.
Techno?
Nah. Tech house.
I can
fuck with that.
So you've got a good mixture.
But then someone will come and school me one day and say, T, you know, you just played a techno tune. Yeah. It was garage, but it was, and I'll be like, oh, yeah. Yeah. As a whole genre, this,
Yeah. Do you enjoy mixing genres when you?
Yes. Love it. When I first got Serato, that was just like everything's here. Yeah. In one place, I can find out all the BPMs, so I don't have to sit there tapping, what are they called? what are they called? Manometers or Mitch? I forget what they're called. But yeah, to find out what the BPM is. You can get an app on your phone actually and just tap until you know what the BPM. You press play and it goes ding, 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 ding. So you know what the. But yeah, I love mixing up genres and stuff. I used to do it a lot more than what I did. When I like DJ'd birthday parties and weddings and things like that, then yeah, you know, you have a drink at them things. You get to mix from like 80 BPM right the way through up to like jungle 160 BPM.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I used to like, yeah, but I don't do it as much anymore. Big up Serato, man, because that was a game changer for me.
Man, that's Serato, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you think that music helps you manage your mental health? And if so, why?
Definitely, man.
How?
Definitely. I love my calm cuts, yeah. I love like, I was on the way up here before you jumped on. I listened to Smooth FM. I love that kind of stuff. So when I want to just chill out and I like the nostalgia of music. So again, I can just go to my basement if things are getting a bit on top. I can just go down there and pick up a pile of garage, Motown, and just start going through. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't even heard this for like 15 years, and then it will go into the Badman pile, you know, where it was in the pile which was without a sleeve. You know, a lot of DJs will have them records that they don't like at the back of their collection. Like I'm talking, they've got like hundreds and that. You just have a pile that just ran out of sleeves, they ripped, they teared, and you just allowed it. And now you like the tune again, so you've got to go to like one of the hip hop releases which have like the double sleeve. You'll have the main cardboard sleeve and then the paper one in it, so take it out, nick the paper one, slap it in there. But yeah, so yeah, I think like, yeah. And I think music is just therapy, period, whether you struggle with life or not.
Yeah. What's your vinyl collection like?
Yeah, strong.
Love that.
Yeah. For someone who's not, I'd say, as a full-time DJ, then yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Like I've got quite, and I lost a lot of records as well. In around 2003, I lost my best like box of grime and my best box of garage, and then had to go back to record shops and pay for those tunes again. Like I got an insurance payout because of what happens, but these times I'm living at home still, so Mumsy was like, well, I'm having half of that money and you can have the other half, and
oh wow,
bang. So I went out and then spent probably about 400 quid in one day and had to get a cab home because I bought so many vinyls.
Wow.
And just get the tunes that I knew. And even to this day, I'll go into record shops where they're selling maybe secondhand grime or garage, and I'll see a tune that I used to have. Not that one specifically, because back then I used to always write my DJ name, which was Mr. T, on the vinyls. So I've never seen one about it, but if I did, I'd have a lot of questions.
See someone popping down the street with their records under your arm.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, but then he sold them to me and they sold, and it's just like, and time passes and you get over things. So.
How did we get from Mr. T to Tiatsim?
So it was Mr. Mista hyphen T.
Yeah.
And then I think the crew that I was in at the time, Random Man, then we were called. And
Random Man then.
If anyone knows DJ Olos, his name used to be Solo. So he started it. He reversed his name, and then you know my brethren Mark. So we just took Mark and reversed it. So he was MC Cram. And then I was like, I can't be Tiatsim. Tiatsim sounds a bit odd. Like, so I took the hyphen, 45'd it. Tiatsim, quick Google search. Ancient Chinese warrior Tiatsim from like 1683. Cool. He's dead and gone, R.I.P. But I ain't got nothing to worry about in terms of names.
He's not going to come back and try and get the name, is he?
Yeah, exactly. It's a weird name, and people would always say it wrong. They call me Tiatsim and Tiatsim still, but yeah, that's how it came about.
That's such a sick story.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I thought it was going to be someone like I don't know, plucked it out of thin air and just said, yeah, we'll call you this.
No, it was all just reversing our names. Some didn't work. We had a guy called Quinsco, and it was backwards. It was a mad crazy. So yeah.
I don't even want you to pronounce that backwards.
No, I'm not going to try.
You said before that radio is your church.
Yes.
What do you mean by that comment? Explain it to me.
How people go church, innit, and have a religion, yeah?
Yeah.
I would say I'm a bit out of it now because, or let's just say I'm just not as religious about it anymore, but from 2013 to 2019, I'd say, or maybe to 2020. That's all I looked forward to was Friday, and these weren't even just Fridays. There was sets during the week that if they come available and I can go, I'm going.
You take them.
Yeah, so it was, let's just say, it was the only place I really wanted to be, and I just felt like this. It sounds mad, but like this spiritual freedom, and the fact when you like are around certain DJs, like who was around back then, you know, Jam Pack was around, Spooky was around, J Beats was around. There was a lot of people around that were leveling or had already leveled, and then now you're leveling, and then you're getting more confident. And all you want to do now, because people are just, I'd gone from buying vinyl, because when I'd stopped playing grime was when vinyl kind of stopped and MP3s took over, and I felt like it was more geared towards the MCs. And that's when I went Ibiza and become a house DJ overnight, so that's my excuse. But then when I come back in 2013, now people are just sending me tunes over the internet for free. So I'm going, you know, when you used to buy vinyls, you go on a Saturday or whatever. I worked in London, so on a Friday I'd get paid cash straight down to DJ Cameo at Uptown, Black Market across the road as well. And you would come back with like, I'm gonna spend, I don't know, 150 quid, and I'm coming back with 15 new like test presses, whatever. All you wanted to do that night or Saturday and Sunday was do sets. Whoever had the decks at someone's house, that's what you done. So that kind of rebirthed itself like in 2013 when everyone started sending me tunes. I was on a station in Watford called I'm in Radio, and big up Munchie, and the tune started running out. Like, I weren't really getting sent much, and then I bought literally everything that was on iTunes, like your Rude Kids, your Teddy Musics, JMEs, and every instrumental I could pretty much get. And I was close because my firstborn was just only a few months old, and I was thinking, do you know what? I'm getting a bit bored again. And then Spooky sent me a summer pack, which had like 65 rhythms in it. And then I got chatting to the Square, and they came to radio in Watford, and I've still got the recording of that. That set was absolutely mental with the tunes that I had from Spooky and some of the others, and their energy at the time before they really blew onto like the scene at that time. Yeah, it was mad. It was crazy. But yeah, I've wandered.
I've got a question.
So have I. Good, I love that. I love sitting there sometimes not trying to figure it out. Yeah. You ever park up somewhere and just like you're on your phone from next, you've got to do something, whatever, and you look up and you're like, I don't know where I am, and I try and leave that going. I love that emptiness.
Don't want to know where you are.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the old mode days. What was the vibe like? What was the setup like?
That's kind of like what really the church thing.
Yeah.
Like the old mode. This place is wicked, and it's like, you know, everything has to evolve.
Yeah.
And modes evolve now.
Yeah.
And we're able to do things like this. But yeah, those days.
Can you imagine doing something like this in the old studio?
Not really. I mean, we try to. The thing with that is, you know, we could do whatever we wanted. There was no rules. It was a bit like the old pirate days. Like, you had to still have respect for the space you was in and the equipment and whatever else, but it was in that kind of building that just you could get away with whatever the fuck you wanted to. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck you wanted to. So like, it was those days were musically probably the best days of my life.
Wow.
And which was then sort of like cherry on the cake was when we went to Croatia. So to have those 5-6 years at the old mode, then go to Croatia and do that, it was just mental. Like, but you'd ask anyone that question that was like sort of like a staple at the old modes. Matteo knows, Spooky knows, Jay knows, Treble knows, Jam Pack knows. I was even chatting to Nefertiti the other day, and he was saying the same thing, like, I missed that place. Even though he only guested on there, he never had a show as such. People just loved coming down there because of the freedom. And then obviously that's how like Beat Boss was born and stuff, like just being able to have the freedom to do what I wanted. You know, my creativity went through the roof at the old modes, to be honest. So I really enjoyed those years.
You've moved into that nicely, because my next question, which I'm sure everyone wants to know the answer to, Beat Boss, what's going on?
Geez, do you know what? It's getting a venue. A lot of venues that I've spoke to are, look, it's just long with venues, to be honest. I'm not even getting specifics.
Yep.
And then partly me, just where I've been at in life, being able to take on the responsibility and stuff. Things like Dub Shack's quite quick and easy to put on. Beat Boss is stressful. And my problem is I'm not very good at sort of like outsourcing help.
Because you don't want it or you don't ask for it?
Because I want things a certain way.
Okay.
I think.
You'd rather do it yourself?
Yeah. I wish I could. I need to learn how to do artwork. If I can do that, then I'm pretty much cool. But
why wouldn't you ask someone to do your artwork?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
No, I do, and it's my friends that do the artwork.
Yeah.
It'll be either Matteo, Jams.
Yeah.
They're the two best for me. Like quickest, wicked quality. So, and yeah, they're my friends. So you want to bring in people around.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, sometimes we're doing favors for each other, but I kind of see it as you want to look back at that something you created, like even if it's just an artwork. You look back in years. Some of it's like, it's like almost like a cult type thing. Some of the artwork, when I look back and I'm like, I just look at the artwork and I remember the final or something like that, or how sick that day was. And sometimes I think the power of that is really, it's big.
Yeah.
But it's coming. It's coming. I've been saying that for 3 years.
Is that when the last one was? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could do with some help. I'll be honest. I'll put it out there. I could do with some help with getting a venue, but the venue has to be right. It has to be on a Saturday. And that's been a problem. Is speaking to a lot of venues in London.
Is it the day of the week that's the problem?
Yeah. And sound system as well. Like I'm not really looking to have this one's a big one as well. This isn't like we've had the Beat Bosses 1 to 9. So this is all the previous 8 champions. So I want it to, and it's Beat Boss 10. So I want it to be in the right place. Yeah. Peckham Audio, if you're listening, you know, to buck your ideas up.
I was going to suggest Peckham Audio.
I love Peckham Audio, love it. But they weren't hearing it about a grime event on a Saturday. That's what they were telling me anyway.
Yeah.
So that's my earmarked place that I'd like to do, because also what you don't want to do is get a really big venue and then
You don't fill it out.
Yeah. And it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So some people might have even grown out of it. Or,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I'm thinking of venues in my head now to throw at you and be like, what about this place? What about this place?
That's what I'm saying. I'm putting it out there. If anyone knows a venue, shout me. Like, I just need a bit of help with that. We can do that. And then, so I'm hoping we could probably do it maybe February or March next year.
Yeah. For those that don't know, well, I'm sure everyone does, what is Beat Boss?
It's a grime producer clash. So it's a sound clash. And it's individuals, so individual producers. We get 8 guys. Then I'll do my radio show. We'll do a draw, like they do in football. And then obviously got 4 clashes. And that'll be roughly about a month or so before the actual event. So even though some of them they know they're in it, then they might start making tunes. They've already also got tunes there, but they'll now try and find that person's tunes, start remixing them, taking sound bites out of them. Some producers have locked off their SoundClouds when they know they're going against.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so then they can't go delving into their stuff and robbing their sounds.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Red Bull Culture Clash, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just taking someone's music and basically throwing it at them and saying, yo.
Yeah. But it's the way as well, because like I always say it when people ask about Beat Boss, but Large Up Jammer, because he done Lord of the Beats in Vauxhall 2013, I think it was. Yeah, I'm sure it was. And I went to it, and it was a producer clash. So Teddy versus Fitzy versus Jammer versus Spyro. He turned up late, and big up Spyro knows about that night. That night was wicked. But
what venue was that in?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. It was like the Arches just by Vauxhall, like roundabout. As you come over the bridge, bucker left, and then like the first right, there was some arches. So it's there. Wicked event. So it was so sick. The energy was mad. Mikey and Logan clashed as well. Big Mikey. So like it was just a wicked energy in there, and I was like, I can't wait for the next one. Can't wait for it. It didn't happen, and then I just kind of thought, do you know what? Like they just all just played their tunes. Like they had like the old school round versus new school, but I didn't feel like it was set in a way where you know, there was going to be a final. So I just come up with a concept where I was like, all right, so 8 guys, 4 clashes. We could do this all in a night. Like, so yeah, we've got the round 1, then you got semi-final and then final.
All in one night.
All in one night. Takes about 5 hours all in all, depending on how many tunes get reloaded and things like that. So yeah, but it's like, if anyone who's like not been to Beat Boss, when you see the next one up, I would say just go, just to...
I've not been to one.
Are you what?
I've not been to one.
Oh my God. Okay then.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, that is shocking. Yeah.
For those who can't see, he's
make sure you buy your ticket for the next one.
What, no guest list, no?
Not after you told me that. No. You've watched them though, haven't you? You've seen. You ain't even look. You ain't even
watched them.
Oh my God, this is mad. When you asked many questions, I was thinking you was like for the viewer. Tell us about it. But
yeah.
I'm actually schooling you about Beat Boss.
Well, I know what it's about, but not the essence.
You're going home tonight, Els, and you're watching Beat Boss. Either Beat Boss 7, but the audio was bad, or maybe 8, or maybe 9. Beat Boss 7 was Louis B versus Jams, and that was...
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds sick.
Mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louis B versus Jams.
Yeah. And that was at... what's that? What's it called? What's the venue around the corner called Mateo? 5 Miles. The last, I think 2 or 3 were at 5 Miles.
Is it still there?
No. I mean, it's still there, but they ain't still there.
Oh.
And that was the wickedest venue for us. It was, yeah. And the sound system, we called it like the wall of sound. They just had speakers in the wall for a whole wall. Wow. And the sound that used to come out was, pretty sick.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, people have said to me, like, Old Blue Last. I like Old Blue Last, but
that's what I was going to say.
I don't like their sound system.
Okay. And
their sound engineer. So he's turning things down. So yeah, like if I'd done it there, I'd probably have to like maybe get my own sound system in. Yeah.
Would they allow that?
Maybe, but you see that place there, yeah. I don't know, when people jump up and down in Old Blue Last year, I'm in the building industry, like I can feel the movement.
Oh.
So I don't know if
the
the sound system that I might bring. Anyone who went to the first Dub Shack on the beach, that's the sound system I'd bring, and it's not massive, but it's what you'd have in the corner at Carnival. Yeah. So that's a lot of vibration.
So the floor's gonna come through then.
Yeah. That's what worries me about Old Blue Last.
I
always stand at the side. You know them videos you see in America where the floor just collapses? Yeah.
Wow.
Shit only lasts a certain amount of time, innit?
So do you think having trouble finding a venue is something to do with the stigma attached to grime?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Do you think it's 2022, do people still think that grime will attract trouble?
I think the people that have to make choices in order for their organisations to make money, yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
But we know that grime events bring in a lot of people and a lot of money. We know that people will
if it's done right. I've seen some events that put on, and obviously people will post things on social media. Someone will do an event and be talking about it, and then you don't hear nothing about it. You wonder why. And then there'll be another one where there's a load of hype, but then you see, like, from maybe people's snaps on Insta or whatever, there's 10 people in there. So I think it's all about creating something. Like, that's what I rate so much about Manga. Like, he's just got a core fan base, and he feeds them, and they're always gonna come out for him. And you're always gonna want to go to one of his shows because of, you know what to expect or whatever. And I think that's really important to put forward when you're doing events. But I see a lot of people now that are starting to put on their own events, and I love it. I proper, too many people sit back and be like, oh, I'm not getting booked, or we're not getting a chance, or, you know, some of them people either need just pull their finger out, and yeah, you might have to put a lot of money in to begin with, to start it off. You know, Beat Boss costs money. I never made money off Beat Boss. I've always lost money off Beat Boss, but I love it, and the people that take part in it don't get paid. Like, we tried to go down that route of getting paid with Red Bull, and then they went and made their own version of Beat Boss. Yeah. So we got burned, in it. It was like, kind of, well, we could have stepped in the door here, and you could have given us some funding, and it would have been sick, and everyone would have done well, and I can pay these producers some money. And they just ran off with their own idea of the clash, and from the people that was there, said like it weren't all that. And they never done another one after, so that shows that.
That says something.
Yeah. But I wasn't happy about that.
What kind of crowd do you think grime events pull? Because I went to Sharky's thing, Next Legacy, and it was like a reunion. So it was like, you know, Kirby T was there, Tints was there, Names Bliss was there, but it's all people in the scene that were there. There were rarely any fans or outside people that turned up. And I found that a bit strange.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And I see these same people at the same events.
And well, this is what how people say about the grime scene, and everyone knows each other and this and the other. I don't like, if you go to a grime rave, especially nowadays, I mean, it's fine. It's like I said, it's evolved now. So there's so many different subgenres. When we were younger and grime was first come out and MCs were saying things, some people might be scared. Myself, even sometimes, I'm not going to certain raves, lower in East London or wherever, because I'm from Northwest, so it's far to go. Some of these guys are saying mad shit, like, and I believed it. I was like, yeah. And obviously back then, some people were really doing the things
they were talking about.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same. Like, going back, I just, like I said before, I just want people to do their own events. And whether it don't work out, you can say you did it. Do you know what I'm saying? Sure. And just try and start your own, build your own lane or your own brand. Or, you know, if you've got friends especially, like you've got, one can do filming, one can do this, one can do artwork, and if you just come together, you can build something really good. And when it's natural from the heart, I think it's better. Like I say, Beat Boss should have made money. Like when you look at it and what things like Lord of the Mics have done, I know MCs are traditionally bigger, bigger's not the word, but they're more out there than like a producer is. Yeah. So yeah, it was always just about shining a light on producers really and getting their flowers. But like I say, it should have made money. It hasn't. But then sometimes money ruins shit. And Beat Boss has been, oh man, you have to fucking watch all of them.
That's what I'm doing tonight.
It's mad.
I didn't even know they were online.
Yeah, man. Big up Hitman T, because without him and Capo Lee was the host for the first few, and then Hitman Tigger, and they're both wicked hosts and funny as well. Yeah. Like wicked characters. So they've helped make it, because otherwise it would just be me talking shit while other guys play rhythms. So to have hosts like that that come in, look, we're my friends, look, you know, we all bounced off of each other. There was never any awkwardness or whatever. So that was always, it's just enjoyable. It's good memories.
Where about in Northwest are you from originally?
Queensbury.
Okay.
Queensbury, Kingsbury, Kenton.
Yeah.
Harrow as such, but Harrow's a bit further.
Harrow's a bit further out,
Yeah.
I always, I think I asked someone else's question. Why is it north, south, east, west, and northwest? Why do they put us? Why are we on the map?
Do you know what? At that Heartless thing on Sunday, I was disappointed because they were bigging up North London a lot, obviously, or Bushkin was. But we have to love to east. But see, back in the old like Eskimo dances, they would always big up Northwest on a side one, and everyone would go mad. But what was the original question? So
why is Northwest on the map as opposed to
because of SLK, Nines, people like, you know, Scrap stuff. Like there's so many artists that come out from then that just wanted to say, well, we're not West, but we're not North. We're Northwest. And I think people like myself, who was, you know, Northwest London, we all kind of drew to that and stuff, and you'd want to support them and whatever is
People must be like, they think they're special. Why are they Northwest?
It is, isn't it? You never hear like
Northeast or Southwest or like.
No, I know.
And then I see you know, Chicken Shop Date Girl.
Yeah.
She said that she used to be in a rave and she was from Central London, and no one ever said Central London, so she couldn't put her hand up and big her ends up because it was just north, south, east, and northwest. And she's like, I'm in the middle.
Yeah, you have to choose. You have to choose which side.
You've got to choose
You're lucky if you're from Central, you can kind of choose, innit?
Choose anywhere, innit? Yeah. So obviously, I'm from Northwest as well, so we grew up with that mentality that we just don't go to East.
Yeah, that's it, innit?
You don't cross the river because
that's it.
You just like, and it's funny because even though now I'm in my 30s, I still have that mentality. So when I go to South, I have to go with someone, or I just go around.
South and East were off the
limits.
Off limits. See, didn't do it. So I had a guy who my dad grew up with, his son, who I actually call my cousin. So he lived on an estate. They lived on an estate in Brixton, and I used to go there a lot as a child. And so Queensbury and Kingsbury, which is probably about just 3 miles outside of Wembley and Harlesden and Bridge and that, it just wasn't as bad, right? So I wasn't shielded, but I wasn't in the midst of of things that were going on. But when I went to Brixton, I went completely innocent. So I had a lot of lessons that I learned there. I mean, these guys played on the estate. I would wake up, my cousin's already out playing cricket. So my aunt, Chrissy, would be like, they're outside, go play. These men are playing cricket with snooker balls. Snooker balls. I was like, do you know what? No, I'm okay. I'm with technicals. I'm gonna just go back upstairs and have some Weetabix or something, man, and just watch Cartoon Network or something So, yeah, but like, I learned. I was lucky. I learned a lot, and the lingo as well, like the South London lingo.
Yeah.
And that I was doing that before anyone in Northwest London. I was doing that before any of my friends at school.
What kind of lingo did you learn in South?
Oh man,
Nang's a South word, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm sure it is. Nang.
I never heard that in well, I say Northwest, like we didn't venture out much. But what was that? There was definitely words and things. Oh God, if I could, I can't think off the top of my head, but there was a lot of slang words coming out. Even Nani was one of them. So it was like things like that. There was like some crazy words that we never ever used in North, or you knew how long it would take to get up to.
Yep.
It's like the Northwest whistle. Like, I don't care what anyone says. We have a whistle in Northwest, and if someone does it and you're in another part of London, you are hot.
Is it the whistle? I think it is. Can you do it? Yep. Is that the Northwest thing?
Northwest thing. I'm telling you. There's gonna be a lot of South man and East that are gonna be no. But yeah, I feel like it was.
Whenever you hear that, you look outside your window. You know it's someone for you.
You know it's someone. Yeah.
Someone that you know.
Or if you don't and you look over and they know it's not for you, you just give that. Sorry, bruv. Thought it was someone else.
Yeah. Do you think, like, how would you feel about possibly not being able to do Beat Boss? Is that entered your head, that thought?
No, but it's entered my head to say, like, right, okay, maybe I just don't have the hunger for it anymore, and somebody else can just take it on and do it. So,
would you do that? Would you pass it over to someone?
Yeah. It's in my will. It's written in my will who I want to take Beat Boss.
Can you tell us who that is?
No, it's not really in my will. I've written a will. I should do, but no. It would be probably like J Beats, Jams, Hitman Tigger. Matty O would be involved. He's always been involved.
He's nodding.
Who else? Treble Clef. I'd say, and Spooky. How can I forget Spooky? Can't forget. Save the best till last.
If you don't pass it.
Save the best till last. That's what I'm doing. That was what I act. Yeah, Spooky, because these guys I know care about it. You know, I know they would do it in the best interest.
Justice,
yeah. So maybe it is. Sometimes, you know, when you might not have lost love for it, but you don't want. How can I say it, man? You don't want the responsibility anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's mad. I go ups and downs. So I'll give it away, and I go, I want to be in control again. I want to know what's going on. But I think it will get to that stage in a not too distant future where I'll just be like lads, like, do you lot mind just
taking it over?
Taking the baby and raising it yourselves.
I've birthed it.
Well, Beatbox is probably like a teenager now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going for that quiet patch, just locked in its room for days on end.
Now this is the struggle period, the teenage years.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, they can take it into maturity and adulthood.
And good luck to them. You've given so much to the grime scene.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say that? Why?
Nah. If you look at the history of and the people that you can put in that bracket of who's given so much to the grime scene,
Spooky.
You're talking, your Diesels, your Spookies, Spyros. Like, I'm not these guys. That's why I can't never put myself or let anyone put myself in that bracket, because these guys have done this full time since this high. So, you know, I feel like almost like a guest in it, and I've done things.
You've done your bit in the corner.
I've done some things. Don't get me wrong. I've done some things, but it's all just to have parties and vibes. That's, you know, I haven't made music or tried to say manage an artist, or I've just gone on radio and DJ'd and played what I've wanted to. I've just had a whole heap of fun without having to worry about money. You know, whereas these guys, they've had to worry about money. They've had to, how am I gonna carve out a career in this game, because so many people could have just given up on grime and just. That's what's been funny as well. Like over the years, watching people, and I won't say no, you can't do that, because some people get really protective of grime and be like, oh, Funky House has come around, now you're trying to do that and do that, whatever. But it's been funny, the people that have just might have just jumped ship, that went left, and then they just didn't come back at all. Like,
There's a lot of people that's done that.
Yeah, and you see grime, it's like things come and go. Grime's constant. All this grime is dead shit. I mean, you just don't entertain it. Anyone that says it, when someone tweets or something like that, grime is dead, and everyone starts talking, that's just how people then start talking about it. And it might have an adverse effect on certain listeners coming in that are now seeing all these fucking, like, all them grime guys all arguing with each other about whether grime's dead or not. Yeah, just play the music. Things go up, they come down. Same with fashion. Goes up, comes down, comes back around. So you've just got to roll with the punches. And these man, that's what I'm saying, these kind of guys, they've just always stuck with it. Never changed. Delved into other bits, cool, but they've always carried on doing grime, and I respect that.
Do you feel like you stuck with it?
No, I went, nah. I was definitely saying, all right, I'm one of the first DJs that was buying grime vinyl, because I was already a garage DJ for a year or two, and when it went dark and you had your pulse X's and your DJ Why Believe Me's and certain like kind of funky and jamming and tunes like that, bingo beats, then yeah, but it all went into grime, so we was buying all of that early. So I was with it from then till, like I said, probably about, I think it must have been about 2008, 9, something like, about 8, where I just felt like the vibe, I was going record shopping and it weren't so much anymore, much grime vinyl coming out. Lion Wire came out, things like that. And then I just started delving into like reggae and bashment, really. Like I grew up with like one of my best pals. He lived in a state in Stonebridge, spent a lot of time there. Cookouts, music being played, loved the culture. So all them tunes that I heard, I was finding, and I just got hooked on that. And then I went Ibiza, and then, so again, it went to about 2012, 2013 that I came back and was like, none of this music hits my spine like grime does, you know. It doesn't.
You had to go to Ibiza to find that out.
No, because maybe, but these are the experiences. So I had a hiatus, didn't I? Yeah. I went away, not went away, but just stopped buying and indulging and looking out for it anymore. Yeah. And then them times just got back into it and liked a lot of the stuff. Like, I'd heard the names Rude Kid and Teddy and that, but I weren't really paying attention. So then when I went searching for the instrumentals, and then I was watching like certain footage, like on SBTV, RIP Jamal. Like when I was watching stuff like that, that's when I started getting the buzz again. I was like, yo, I'll have a bit of this again, you know, like, and that's it. So going back as well, like where you said about, yes, I've done some things in grime that people like and whatnot. Yeah. And we've had some wicked times. Yeah. The memories for me are brilliant, and nothing marred it. There's no behind the scenes arguments about money or things going left. It's all been sick, and that's what I've enjoyed. And that's like with Dub Shack as well and events like that. I just want live life and vibes, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
Is that your motto for life?
Not really. I just said it. Just.
I was like, that's really profound. Let's call that his motto.
You wanted me to say that's up on my wall at home, like,
live like love,
when I get out of bed. It's the first thing I see. Yeah. It might be now. You know?
It looks
live life and vibes. It's actually, do you know what? That might have to be trademarked. Live life and vibes. But anyone say that now? On Love Island and that, yeah. I'm suing.
Do you feel like, what has grime given to you? I mean, you say you haven't given much to it. You've given a bit of yourself. What has it given you?
Oh man, so many
laughs and vibes.
Yeah. I like the energy in grime. Yeah. I liked going to the raves and going mad. Yeah. Like certain reloads, and it's given me, I suppose when you look over, I'm approaching 40 now, so I've been listening to grime, 20 years? 21 years. Wow. So probably, if not more than half my life. And I don't know how to put in a nutshell of what it's given me. what has it given me? Something, do you know what? Yeah, something to do all the time. All the time. Always like, if I'm bored at home, I'll go downstairs and mix. And this has always been the case. I've always had decks around me, so I'll just go and mix. And I suppose it gives you a bit of purpose, really, in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's worse things you could be spending your money on and doing with your time.
100%.
Yeah. So.
Did you ever feel like you wanted to make it your main career?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But knew I was already too far gone in what I call the blueprint life, that I could go back and try that. But then, like, Spooky's one of my brethrens, so I've spoke to him a lot and been around him at certain times, and you just can see on people's Insta stories or when you talk to them, whatever. It's a hard life. I watched the documentary about Avicii, I think it's on Netflix, the other day, and what happened to him. And you know, sometimes you have to be careful what you wish for. Like the stardom thing isn't for everyone. And I think, yeah, for me, I don't think, having quite an addictive personality and stuff as well, I don't think that I would have done well, or it wouldn't have been good for me. I would be at drinking, smoking every night, and it catches you. Either carry on doing it all the time until there's one big bang, or you have to slow down. And I know people have come away and slowed down and said, you know, it's getting a bit too much, and I properly respect that.
It's a hard thing to do. Yeah,
you've got to, although you're chasing your dream, sometimes, you know, your sanity sometimes is something you can't get back once gone, you know, or not the level of sanity you was once at. So you have to really look after that. And if something feels wrong, then take action. Don't let people say, oh, but we're losing money, this, or, you know, again, documentaries can be one-sided, but Elvis, for instance, like, I didn't really know too much about him, but when I watched the documentary, his manager literally ran him into the ground. His manager had debts from gambling, and he had to work Elvis to the bone to get that money. So, and they were giving him injections and this, that, and the other. Man has a heart attack and dies. So, you know, learn from history, innit? If you're a young artist or DJ or whatever, and you're getting this money, you're getting money, but you're feeling like, oh, do you know what? This is a bit too much. There's too many people around me that I don't really know or trust, or like, just take a time out.
This is what you said to me on Twitter the other day. Do you remember?
Do you know what, with Twitter, right? So I've been deleting it off my phone. It sounds so pathetic, yeah, being a nearly 40-year-old man, but I've been deleting it off my phone and just leaving it on ice for a few days. If I'm doing something like this or whatever, I'll put it back on. You only need to do a certain amount of Twitter years to wise up to what the app's like, how the world kind of works, what goes on, fuckeries this. But when you wake up in the morning, I don't care what anyone says, people are on Twitter. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is check Twitter, and when you're going to bed, it's probably one of the last things you check as well. You're addicted, you're hooked, dopamine's going crazy. So you have to take it away, and it's not until you come out and think, I was waking up every morning watching atrocities, going this, and it's a bit of you want to be informed about what's going on in the world,
but there's a limit.
Yeah, there's only so much that you can take. You can't sit there all day and just watch negative stuff going on in the world and not think it's going to impact your mind and your mood and whatnot. And it is, you don't want to turn a blind eye, but we can't do everything. We can only, through the way we live, not tolerate certain things. If you're on a train and someone's saying something to someone that's not correct, not right, it's wrong, it's racist, whatever, stand up and say something. Too many people just, through fear, don't say nothing. And I think as society, that's where we're going wrong. Like with Twitter, definitely, and like with Spaces, I just think it's counterproductive. It's real counterproductive. And I've done Spaces. I would listen to it while I was at work for like 4 hours on a stretch. You would listen to
the same space for 4 hours, right?
Yeah, just have it in the background. I'm servicing boilers. I've got one earpod in here, and I'm just doing my job, listening to people talk. And sometimes it was constructive stuff, but eight or 9 times out of 10, it's going left at some point in the conversation. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just not for me. But for people that do put on Spaces and it is all good, cool. But it's just, again, if you look at Twitter as a company, it's another way of keeping you on that app all the time. And sometimes, like I said the other day, delete it. For anyone that's struggling and just thinking, what the fuck? Like sometimes you might be looking for, what the fuck am I even looking at? Like, what am I even doing? Like just, if you're going through that, then just delete off your phone for a few days and just detach yourself from this. Yeah. Just go for a walk without it. Put it somewhere, watch a film, put it in your cupboard or whatever.
Do you know how hard that is for people to not be next to their phone?
Myself included. I've been there.
Crazy.
I've been there. Like, I don't mind talking about this because I want, if people are going through that same thing, so don't get me wrong, some people are so strong mentally, it won't bother them.
Yeah.
And they might look at you thinking, that's mad.
You're weak,
like a fucking crackhead.
Yeah.
But you can get drawn in. I've been off work personally for a certain amount of weeks, and sometimes you can just get drawn and be on your phone. I've got Mario Kart on here. That is mad addictive. Yeah. I don't have to say or listen to other people's opinions. So I'll just play my Mario Kart and just win bare cups and do that instead. But yeah, just take time, because it can happen to any of us. Even, you know, my parents used to say, your head's always in that phone. I go around their house now, the head's in their phone. And I'm like, hey, your head's in your phone. So yeah.
Imagine that.
Anyone can get it. Like, anyone can get addicted to these things, and it is taken away from us a little bit, I think. And you just need to sometimes get out there and just think for yourself for a few hours and stop looking at shit.
Sounds scary, innit? Think for yourself.
Yeah. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people who are, I think yourself included, Els, that are struggling.
Yeah.
Like, and
100%.
Going on there and see, Twitter, it's like a live diary. So where we were kids, we used to write this stuff down in a diary. I've still got diaries from when I'm like 17, 16, just little notes here and there, not every day, but I might have gone to a rave and I'm like, thank God I wrote that down. But it's something that only I can look back on. Yeah. Everyone's looking back on this, and it's like with Twitter and Spaces, it's good sometimes because people will chat shit, myself included, in the past that I've learned lessons off of there. But you can learn a lot about someone that they didn't need to learn about you.
Yeah.
That you didn't need to you didn't need to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes just think before you tweet what you're saying. Don't expect people to give a shit neither. You are going to get the ones, obviously, when you tweet something like, oh, you're right. Is there anything I can do and whatnot? And we all know there's not really anything someone can do. It's just we're putting it out there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's better to just write it down on a sheet of paper, in a diary, put it away and reevaluate in a month. Look back and be like, oh, my mood's changed. Oh, this has changed. I'm better. Or do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just taking small steps sometimes.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Delete my Twitter app.
Yeah, please try it. Try. I guarantee you will message me and say, T, it's working. Yeah. 100%.
If I don't, do I get my money back?
I'll pay you £8 blue tick. I'll pay your first month's £8 blue tick. Big up Elon.
What gets you through life?
My family.
Love that.
Football.
Specifically Chelsea.
Yeah, specifically the only champions of Europe from London. Work gets me through.
Do you enjoy your job?
I do to an extent, yeah. I do to an extent. I've moved from was a plumber for like 19 years and then moved into the gas industry, which is kind of, for a lot of plumbers, that's sort of like a natural progression. But yeah, I enjoy the gas because it's challenging. But then at the same time, like, it's challenging because technically you've got to find what's wrong with this boiler when it's broken down. But that's the challenge and that's the pressure that you've now got on you, right? You then got the pressure from a customer that has rolled out the red carpet for you because they've had no hot water or heating for 3 days. It's the middle of January, and tea and biscuits, and like they won't give you rich tea if the boiler's broken down. You're getting chocolate digestives because or Jaffa cakes, because
Wow,
yeah,
Jaffa cakes.
Yeah. Certain people even they'll knock you up some rice and curry or something just to get the heating back on, and that's the added pressure that is painful sometimes because you're
eating the food and you're like, I can't get it working.
Yeah. Single parent that might have a young child, elderly people that are on their own. When you can't get it working, you go home and sometimes you take that with you a bit like, shit, I wish I could, like the part you couldn't get anywhere, or it's late at night or whatever, and you've got to wait till the next day or the day after for the part to come. That, where a lot of people can just leave that where it is, I can struggle. And especially with elderly people, because some of them, the company want us to be in and out and just get the job done. Some of these people are looking forward to a bit of company, and you'll sit and listen to stories. I've sat and listened to a lot of elderly people's stories, whether they've just lost a loved one, the person they've been with their whole life, or that person's in another room with dementia in a bed permanently, and it's bloody hard, it's hard. But, one day in life we're all going to go through something of our own. Hopefully not too similar to some of the things of like that, but it's hard to leave, especially when they're on their own. And especially if it's a woman as well, when you know that they've been married for 50 years to this geezer and he died last year, and they've got no kids, she's just on her own. I've had customers that I'll just go and, like, a couple of weeks later, just go and knock and have a cup of tea with. And I wish I could keep that up, but you can't, because otherwise I would have no time for my family. I'll be knocking for everyone and making sure they're all right. But I think little acts of kindness like that go a long way. So even I might just stay for an hour, they're happy. If they're local to me and I'm driving past and I remember, I'll knock and just say, I finished an hour early, I just thought I'd come and have a quick cup of tea and a chat. You might not ever have to, you'll never, I probably haven't gone back to a lot of those people. I've just gone in the once after, but I know that made their year or whatever. And that is a real good feeling to have as a person. And I'm a believer in karma, and I hope that when I'm possibly, if I'm possibly in that stage, that maybe someone younger might maybe do. Things like that.
Yeah. What do you do when you're having a bad day?
Having a bad day. Probably have a drink.
Do you know, it's funny that you say that, because I spoke to someone the other day and he was like, I won't say who it was, but he was like, my washing machine was doing my night and it was beeping. I just went down the pub, come back, had a few.
Washing machine. When I've had a bad day, because of that.
Just went to the pub, So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Might have a drink, might have a smoke.
Yeah. What's your drink of choice?
Rum.
I knew you were going to say that. Rum. Yes, my guy.
Rum, but not just any, like, off the shelf.
What's
that, like, so, like, Captain Morgan. I see certain people at Mo, the old Mo, used to call me the captain because I drank so much Captain Morgan.
What, the dark one?
The dark one.
The dark one.
I do not do spiced. No way. This pineapple thing, like, no.
Have you tasted the pineapple one? It's
I have.
Horrible.
It's horrible. It's nasty.
Pineapple tiki or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nasty.
They had it in ministry the other night, actually. And a lot of these girls, they nearly bought, like, the whole bottle. And I was thinking, oh my God, like, nasty. It isn't nice. But the spice thing I had once and had the worst hangover and 2-day hangover off of that. So no, but even with Captain Morgan, like, I came to realize that is like bottom of the barrel stuff. It was actually big up my aunt Indy. She's Guyanese, and she started this off because when I was young, when I was like 19, I had a bottle of whiskey with my friends. You're 19, you're not really. I weren't a drinker like that. So we've done like 3/4 of a bottle on Christmas Day, and I'm never drinking a spirit ever again. And up until about the age of 29, for 10 years, I did not drink spirits.
It got to you that bad?
It fucked me up, right? So when she brought me back some from Guyana, which was a special one, like this 15-year-old aged one, I was like, oh my God, the next day woke up, I was like, I'm cool, I've done like half the bottle. I haven't smoked, I haven't drank spirits in 10 years. I'm like, I'm all right. And then I just got the taste for it. Then drank Captain Morgan. And then this is a whole nother story with rum with me, like this is not a quick question. Like, what's your favorite drink? Rum, yeah, next. No. It's so then you've got Mount Gays, like you can get them over the counter, like in your Tesco's and stuff. Yeah. See, on what was it? Saturday night. I was at my neighbour, big up Francis, it was his 79th birthday. So I bought him a bottle of whiskey like that, but I've gone and got a bottle of, I think, Mount Gay. And I got there about 3 p.m. That's gone by 10. So I was going heartless the next day. So I should probably call it a night now. went out and got a bottle of Appleton, but the estate one.
Yeah.
The one that's like curvy, that bottle, like the signature. That's it. Signature blends. That's what it's called. It's not even that nice.
No.
Sainsbury's do wicked rums. Sainsbury's do wicked rum. Like if you're not buying it off the internet and it's a specialist one, large up DOK. You will not see that geezer without a bottle of Diplomatico in his hand, and that is another one which is beautiful. It is my next door neighbour Pedro. He was talking. I was in his house one day. Was watching football, and he was talking about, I'm going to do a rum tasting night one night soon. Get a few people round, and I was like, "Oh, you got enough to do that?" He's like, "I've got about 14 bottles," and so he started bringing them out, and this was on a Sunday, so. We just started drinking. He was like, shall I just open this one and try this one? Yeah, all right. Then he goes, pick another one. We'll just try another one. We opened about 4 and like was smashed. But yeah, rums. And if you're drinking rum and you want to know the difference, the oak barrel and all of that, you've just got to just let it sit in a glass neat for 5 minutes. Yeah. You can have the odd little sniff of it, but then just take a little sip.
Talking to a rum connoisseur here.
Take it in, and that's how you know if it's a wicked rum. But Mount Gay is probably the one where you can just go in the shop most times.
No Ray Nephew?
Now and then, but then I like to drink for a long period. So if you think Ray Nephew's almost double what?
Yeah, you're not gonna last if you drink it.
Yeah, that's it. And my problem with dark rum is if I'm not drinking it on ice, then it's only with Coke. And I've done certain nights where you'll drink a whole bottle of Coke with however much rum you've had, and that's not a good thing to do, period. So I've struggled with that.
Have you never had spiced rum and ginger beer?
Yeah, I have, but I don't like it.
It's not on it?
Nah, it's not for me. It's not for me. I think I'm getting into now just drinking it straight and having a glass of water next, or having it with ice. Just let the ice melt a bit.
But if you put a drop of water in it as well, and just have that.
Or just let the ice melt. Just let it melt in there for a little while. Yeah.
Tell me something your parents instilled in you from when you were young.
Something they instilled into me from when I was young. Sense of family.
Love that.
Sense of family. Loyalty. Music.
Love that.
Yeah, music. They were, when you said earlier what was your introduction to music, I actually got it wrong. They were my introduction to music. The being 6, 7, 8 years old when they're having a house party and I'm like at the top of the stairs trying to look in and what they're wearing and all the music they're making, you know. Sometimes I'd fall asleep at the top of them stairs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, get in trouble because someone's gone toilet. There's only one toilet at the top of the stairs, so I'm falling asleep, someone's gone toilet and going, go on. And everyone could, because my name's Tim, everyone called me Timmy. Go on, Timmy, get into bed.
Oh.
What are you doing up?
It's a sweet story.
Yeah.
We're going to play a quick game of this or that.
All right.
So I'm going to give you 2 things and you got to pick quickly without thinking. Vinyl or USB?
Vinyl. Why did I even think?
Why did you think? Yeah.
No, I just let my drink go down.
All right, hats or crepes?
Crepes.
McDonald's or KFC?
McDonald's.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Is it plantain or plantain?
It's plantain.
Thank you. I knew you'd come through for me on that.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Stonebridge. Grew up right now. It's been many years.
Where can we find you on socials?
At Tiatsim. Everything is just at TIATSIM. Yeah, that's it. Instagram's on private, so if I don't know you or you don't have a lot of people who know you are, like I know them, then it's a myth. I'm not trying to. Yeah, with Instagram, I don't. As a DJ, everything should just be open. But I like to keep that closed off. I post it, pictures of my kids and stuff and family stuff. So I'm a bit worried. But as with Twitter, I'm there. Mixed Clouds. Just put Tiatsim in Google. There's loads of sets and stuff and everything. And man.
And watch Beat Boss, everyone. And
everyone has to watch Beat Boss. Go on YouTube. A couple actually got taken down because of something or other, which is a shame. But we had to take them down because it was the right thing to do at the time. Still the right thing to do. What am I talking about at the time? It's the right thing to do, period. So there are 2 that are missing, but literally everything else is up there. It's also on Mode, FMs and Mixed Clouds. I think 1, 2 and 3, which What 3 was filmed, but the first 2 weren't. But you can still listen back. Yeah.
Cool. Tiatsim, you have been an absolutely wonderful
Thanks
guest.
for having me, Elle, man.
I've had
love what you're doing with this show, man. I really do.
Thank you very much.
It's enjoyable. It's one of those things to look forward to watching. And that's what I was saying before about people putting their own event, people starting things like this. I love it. I respect it. And yeah, man, I hope it goes on to bigger and better things for you.
Thank you very much. I
No
appreciate
worries.
it. I have been Elle Formosa. This has been Mental Health in Music. I will see you back in a couple of weeks. Take it easy.